Hi, I'm Stacy, and welcome to Beyond the Mic. This is a space where we dive deep into the moments, stories, and breakthroughs that shape who we are and who we're becoming. Together, we'll explore personal growth, mental health, and the motivation you need to create lasting change. This is more than just a podcast. This is your moment to break free, rewrite your story, and step boldly into the life you've always dreamed of. It's time to stop holding back, to rise, to thrive, and to transform. Let's go beyond the mic. This is a podcast that I decided to create because I recently had a baby, and as you know, if you're a woman, and if you're not a woman, then take this as a learning time. So when you have a baby, it's almost like you transform completely. You're no longer you. You crave the old you, but you don't know how to have that part of you, but still having this other side of you. I don't know how to explain it. It's very difficult because you want to be the your old persona. You want to have that personality. You want to have that thing that characterized you. But once you're a mother, like even if you're already a mother, you have one baby. Like me, I transitioned from one to two. I'm not the same mom. It's just your mind changes, and there has to be some kind of science behind this because I've talked to many moms and they feel the same. So I know it's not just me. So I really want to create this space because mainly for selfish reasons. I mean, not mainly for selfish reasons, but I needed something for me. I love being a mom. It's one of the things that make me happy and fulfill me. But it's just one part of me. It's not all of me. So I just want, because most of the time I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a daughter-in-law. I'm all these things for all these people, but I'm still a woman. I'm still Stacy. And Stacy needs this space where she feels that she's doing something that's purposeful and something that gives another meaning to life. And I've always been I'm an introvert at heart. I really try to be an extrovert, but I push myself because I know it's out of my comfort zone. And I don't know if I do this out of, I don't know how to say, but it's almost like I torture myself because I'll rather be at my home and not talk to people and just be with my kids. But I know I need that, so I make myself have friends and go out and all that. But anyway, I went off tangent, but I really want to create this because I know there's other women out there that feel a little stuck, feel like there's more, and they feel isolated. They feel like they're the only ones feeling this way. And I'm here to tell you you're not alone. And honestly, this episode I really wanted to talk about fear and self-doubt and just having that feeling of being stuck but really wanting to go, but being in this season where things are not going well. So this episode I really want to talk about that. And yeah, I just had a baby, like I'd mentioned, and my transition from going from one baby to two was crazy. For some people, it's just the easiest transition. For me, it wasn't. And I really think there's some women that are just have this superpower and they just go one, two, one, two, and they get things done. And I'm not like that. It really takes me time to adjust. I remember with my first baby, I I felt lost. I didn't know who I was for like 6 months. But it was kind of like within 6 months, I was already on a groove. Like I was able to go out of places and just go up, down, do everything that I had to do. But now with the second baby, it was different. This baby cries a little more than the other. um, he's a little more attached. Well, they were both attached, but they show it differently. Um, and my first baby was very unexpected, so it really caught me off guard. This one, I already knew kind of like what I had to do, so it wasn't as difficult, but because of everything else being different, it really hit me. And I think I didn't allow my body to rest from pregnancy to pregnancy because I had previously had another pregnancy where I lost my baby. So I feel like my body was just so tired. It really took me a long time to for my hair to grow. Like I still have a lot of growth from 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 this pregnancy. Like my hair is not back to normal. My I stopped breastfeeding recently, and my hormones are everywhere. My mood is everywhere. Um, I feel like there's some kind of deficiency because I'm getting headaches a lot. I'm getting acne, and it's just terrible. It's the most beautiful thing in the world to have another baby, but honestly, it it does take a toll physically, mentally, and it's okay to feel both sides. You can be the most amazing mom, um, the most caring, and the most happy being with them, and you can also be that mom that craves that time alone, that craves just 5 minutes of silence, 5 minutes of baby's not crying, someone not asking you something. Um, it's okay to be both, just so you know. If anybody hasn't told you, it's okay. And sometimes I feel that way. I feel very, very, very grateful that on my on this part of me of just motherhood, I feel very fulfilled. But personally, I feel like I'm lacking something. I don't feel like I'm in a bad place where I'm like, oh, I hate my life. But I do feel that I'm missing something. And one of my one of the purposes that I realized along this years is that I love to have these conversations with people. I love to give my perspective, and don't take this as like, oh, this is a 100%. This is my humble opinion of a mom of two, of an almost 30 years old woman, which I can't believe I am. And this is just one perspective, and maybe it helps you shape your perspective, or it maybe helps you realize, oh, that's something that I'm completely in disagreement, and this is what I believe. So maybe it can help you to reframe your perspective, or maybe it helps you reinforce what you already think and not feel alone in this. So yes, I've been meaning to do this podcast for a couple of months ago, if not a year, to be honest. But I'm really scared because I'm putting myself out there. People are listening to me, family is listening to me. I might say something that might offend someone. Um, and I'm a recovering people pleaser. So it's hard. You want to please everyone, but you can't. And I'm just feeling scared of doing something new. And just the fact that I'm turning 30, it's crazy. Because in I always tend to gravitate towards people that are older than me. Um, this has always been my case since I was little. I always struggled with having to make friendships with people my age, just because I mean, I can be friends with anybody, but to really connect with someone on a level of that you have the similar values, that you think the same, that maybe you're thinking about the future, and that was never the case. Of course, I still have friends my age, but the majority of my friends or the people that I hang out with, they're older. So I don't know. Most of my life, I've always been the younger one in the group, but I'm starting to be the not young. I'm gonna be 30, and it's crazy. It's crazy to think, because I'm going through this midlife crisis where I'm questioning everything. Do I really want to just do this? How do I want to make an impact? I was thinking the other day, like, I used to volunteer to places, um, to orphanages, to women's, I don't know what they're called, like women's housing. Um, I would just donate to shelters and do all these things, and I was very involved because one, I cared, and second, um, I was part of organizations, so that helped me. And I'm like, I miss that. I miss the giving, and and with this podcast, I really hope I can give something, like, even if it's just a thought, like maybe give you confidence that you're not the only one that's scared. I'm scared. Like, this is scary. I didn't want to tell anyone that I was doing this, but so I just texted my friend and was like, I really want to do this, and he's like, okay, I got you. Because he helps me with uh, the technical stuff, because I'm not really good at that. But yes, I'm going on 30, and I really want to make it be very purposeful on making that leap, that next step. I'm like, okay, I'm 30 now. This means that I'm closing this chapter of my 20s, and whether I'm satisfied with them or I'm not, just hug that part of me. And if I need more growth, then I go, and I don't regret any decision or any, like, oh, I could have done this, or I wasted my time doing this for so long and it didn't serve any purpose. Just hug it and move on, honestly. I'm very big at, if something doesn't work, that's not your only option. You can move on. It's okay. I feel like a lot of people, they're like, okay, I don't know, just for saying something, I want to go to this college, and they go for a semester and they don't like it, and then they're like, oh, well, I'm stuck here for 4 years. Like, no, you're not. You can go somewhere else. I don't know, maybe you went into marriage really quick, and now you realize that things are not going well. And hopefully you'll work through it. But if you've done everything you could, maybe it's time to say goodbye and not take it as a failure. Just move on. Maybe, I don't know, you took a class and you didn't like it. You started a project and you really realized that you were coming short and then you stop. You know, it's okay. You can do something else. You're not stuck to whatever decision you make at the moment. If it doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve you. So, like sometimes we feel like we're very much in our comfort zone. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like comfort zone is very linked to fear, because for the past week, I I've been meaning to do this podcast. Right now, it's 6 a.m. Well, 6, 7 a.m. And my babies are sleeping. And I'm in my room doing this podcast because this is the only time I have. I don't have a babysitter. And so for the past week, I've been meaning to wake up earlier so I can do this. And then I would wake up, but I would delay the wake up. I'd be like, because I'm scared of doing this. And so I would go, I don't know, I'll go into my phone and then I'll get distracted. And then the baby would wake up and I'm like, oh, well, I can't anymore because then there's going to be, you know, noises and stuff. So I would put a lot of excuses because the camera is not my best. I'm not very knowledgeable in cameras. I'm not very knowledgeable in microphones and how to connect it to my computer. Like it takes a lot of stuff and it's just me. And it's really, really scary. So, I would put a lot of excuses, and that's my comfort zone. My comfort zone is like I'm already in a routine where I wake up, I give the kids breakfast, we do school. Then after that, like there's some resting time. I cook lunch. I clean the house. Then we go to maybe a group so Milan can interact with other kids. And there's activities, maybe a family gathering. I don't know, anything. And so my comfort was really attached to my fear because I I don't know how to work these things. I don't feel very comfortable around the camera, and it's gonna take time, to get this into a routine to do things, but it is what it is, and we have this imposter syndrome where we think that we're not good enough, and there's been like several instances in my life where I've really wanted to do something, and then I don't do it because I'm scared, or because I feel like I'm not capable enough, or maybe I'm not likable enough, or I'm not the most, with the most qualifications to do that thing in the moment. And then I meet the person that's doing that exact same thing that I want. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. I think I'm way more qualified than this person. This person is doing really good. The only difference between me and that person is that that person had the courage, the confidence to do it, and I didn't. I didn't take action. Sorry. I didn't take action to do that thing that I wanted. So there's been several instances where I meet people that are doing things that I want, and I'm like, if I was doing it, I'll do it 10 times better. But then I don't. So people can't enjoy the fruits of whatever I want to do in the moment. Whether it's a job, whether it's like a project, whether it's whatever, within the family, outside, work, whatever. And we cut ourselves so short because we think that we can't. And I don't know where I read this, but, and maybe I'm giving you a little bit like off numbers, but just for the lack of not having the information in front of me, I'm just gonna say something roughly similar. But It's said that men, whenever they feel like 50% or a little higher than that, capable of doing something, they do it, and they do it with confidence, and they're like, oh, I got this, I'm gonna crush this. Women need to feel like 80 to 90% sure that they know everything within that realm to do it. um, so that gave me a lot of perspective, because sometimes us women tend to, like, if we're not 100% sure, if everything doesn't align the way that we want to, like me, I would have waited until I had a babysitter. Me, I would have waited until I had someone to help me with a camera. I would have waited until someone would have helped me with the microphone. And granted, my husband did help me with little things here and there, but it was mainly me putting everything together. So, like, you're so capable of doing anything that you set your mind to. um, Take that class. If you need some time off, take some time off. If you need help, ask for help. If sometimes it's hard, like, uh, in parents work, aunts work, everyone, but there has to be some time or someone that you really trust for your kids to be taken care of, for someone to take care of them. So just do that and have some alone time. Like, wake up earlier. I know it's hard. If you're in a season where you have a newborn, I know it's hard. I feel you. um, and we also have to give ourselves grace and to realize that there's seasons in lives where, uh, if you like, and I'm saying this because, like, I'm in this season, and but when you have a newborn mom, it's okay to rest. It's okay to take that time off. You need those 2 hours extra of sleep. Um, the baby didn't sleep well. It's okay. Just sleep during the day. There's gonna come a season where the baby's gonna sleep again. Maybe it's gonna take you like 15 months like me, but it will. I didn't sleep for 15 months straight. And that baby's so attached to me that even when my husband wanted to help, he couldn't help. He would wake up and he didn't want him. He could smell him even if the room was like dark. He could. He knew it was my husband, and I would have to wake up, and I would have to feed, and I would have to do everything for the baby. It's not that I didn't get that help, it's that the baby didn't want the help of anybody else but me. And it's very difficult. Like, it's, you feel grateful that the baby's so attached to you. You feel the bond, and it's beautiful, but all the time it's really exhausting. So if you're in that season, don't be so hard on yourself. Just know that that season's gonna go away, and maybe this season is like, maybe it's not of action, but preparing yourself for when you have the time to take action. But be mindful, be purposeful on what you want to do next. um or maybe you're in the season of grinding, and that the kids are in school, and you have the time, you have the morning, you can do this, you can do that. Then run. Don't jog, don't walk, run, because this is your season to just go. But if not, be graceful with yourself. um, and some of the things that really helped me is thinking thinking of failure as growth. Because the more times I fail, the more times I am wiser. I used to think, like, why do parents know all of this? How do they know the right answer for everything? And it's because they failed many, many times. Why does my mom know that? I don't know. If you're not married, you're in your teenage years, and you're having a boyfriend here and there, and then you go up to your mom and, like, how does my mom know this is a very toxic relationship? Well, let me break it to you. She's been in toxic relationships. She knows because she's been there. Um, why does my mom know how to handle anger so well? Well, because she's been angry before, and maybe she didn't like the outcome and she changed who she was, or she went to therapy, or she talked to different people, or she looked on YouTube and realized that she can breathe. I don't know. This is just like things that are making up in my mind. um that's why having someone older guiding you, or just having someone there to listen to you, it's great because they've been there. I don't know if it's a real estate and you really want to buy a new house and you go and talk to your dad. Well, he's bought a house before. Well, he's going to give you a better advice, because and it's going to save you time, because let's say he went through some deal and that deal didn't go well. He paid way more than he should have. um, he went through all these trials and tribulations, and then at the end of the thing, maybe he went through the purchase, but he's like, never in my life am I gonna go through this again. So he knows what he went through, he has the experience, and now that you're going back to your dad or whoever, he's gonna tell you, don't do this, don't do that. If the realtor tells you this and that, don't listen, that's not true. I don't know, this type of loan is better because I don't know anything. It's experience. So what if you fail? But what if you grow? What if you don't? What if I fall? But what if I fly? Those are questions that you can think of, that you can be encouraged, that can give you the I don't know, the strength, the courage, to do it, and just to try something new that you're scared of. Whether it's a class, whether it's hugging your mom, saying I love you to your dad, whether it's getting out of a toxic relationship, whether it's being a better parent, whether it's learning to apologize, whether it's doing something that you're not used to that's making you a better person. I think um, I think that's a win. I really think that's a win. Um, Also, one of the things that get rid of that self-doubt and that fear, it's action. You don't want to do it? Well, don't think about it. Not even for a second. You hear the alarm clock? Wake up. Um, you're you need to make that call to make the sale that you need. Make the call. Don't think about it. Just grab the phone. Action is gonna take away fear, and I'm feeling it right now, because in the beginning I was very scared to even. I took like 3 takes in the beginning of like, "Hi, I'm Stacy." Like, I did all these weird things. I was like, "Welcome to be on the mic," and I don't know. I just said, and then in one of the takes, I just looked at myself in the camera, and I'm like, I can't do this. But then I'm doing it right now. So action, it's gonna take away the fear, and it's gonna give you the confidence to keep doing whatever it is that you want to do. um, so just look fear in the eye, and I don't think you ever get rid of it, and I don't think you should, because the moment you don't feel fear, it takes away from that eagerness to do things, or it takes away from, I don't know, whenever you feel fear, it's almost like it gives you that extra push, and it makes you feel accomplished at the end. So just look fear in the eye and just do it. And there's no correct recipe. Whatever I'm saying is just my experience. But we all work different. We have different minds. We all see things differently. But maybe you are the type of person that needs to start small. I don't know, maybe it's like I want to wake up earlier to start working out, but you wake up at, I don't know, you wake up at 7 every day. So you need to wake up at 6, so you have 30 minutes to work out and then the other 30 to get ready for work. I don't know. So it's not like the next day you're going to wake up at 6 and start working out. Maybe set the alarm 15 minutes earlier. Instead of waking up at 7, you wake up 6:45. And you're not working out, but you're waking up earlier. So you do that for 3 days, a week if you want to. And then you set another 15 minutes. So that's 30 minutes already. So you wake at 6:30. Wake up at 6:30. And so you start doing that little by little, and then you're waking up at 6. You start small, and then you build up from there. Maybe you're the type of person that needs to go all in or nothing. And if you're that person, go ahead. You can do it. We all think differently, but at the end of the day, we're going to get the same result. So it doesn't matter the path, how you do it. The journey is different for everyone, as long as you have a vision. As long as you have a vision, if there's a purpose, what's your why, then you're going to be able to do it. So just visualize and hold to your heart your why. And if you don't know your why, ask yourself why a minimum of 5 times, and that's how you really know your real why. I don't know, like for example, me, I'm like, why do I want to do a podcast? Well, I want something for me. But why? I want something for me because I want to feel like I'm contributing to the world. I don't know. But why? Because having a purpose makes me feel very fulfilled. It makes me feel like I'm doing something. But why? So you just keep on going until so every time you go deeper and deeper and deeper into the real answer. Because sometimes we are very superficial. We tend to have, when someone comes to you, I've never heard anyone, well, never mind, I'm lying. Most of the time, I ask someone, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing great, thank you. Well, no, you're not. If I was to ask again, oh, but how is this going? Oh, but I don't know, I lost my job, and I don't know, I had a fight with my mom, or I was not the best parent today, and I don't feel too well about it. There's a lot of things that happen throughout our day, and everyone's going through something. Every single person in this world. The person that's like mean to you, the person that I don't know, you were driving and had what is that called? The driver's rate? No, rage. People getting angry. I don't know. I don't remember the name. The people getting angry, in the roads. Roads rage. Getting people getting roads rage. All these kinds of things. They're going through something. Maybe someone's going really fast, and then you're the one that gets angry. But what if their kid is sick and the only appointment they had was at 10:15 and it's 10? So they have to get there really early. What if someone called and someone's at the hospital and they have to get there really, fast? So you never know what anyone's going through. So we have to practice kindness to everyone, and kindness and understanding with empathy, because you never know what they're going through. And even if they don't have anything, there's always a reason why they're like that. And I'm not justifying anyone that behaves negatively, but there's always a reason. So at least we can have some kind of empathy towards that there's a reason why people are like that, and just move on, because nothing's personal. Like if I'm having a bad day and I lash out to you, you're not lashing out to me because I'm wrong. but because you're having a bad day and you're just like throwing everything out there, like if and we tend to do this a lot with our kids. Like if we're having a bad day, things didn't go well, we're feeling overwhelmed, there's a lot of noise, the TV is like on, your husband has the podcast super loud too, so there's two things going on, the kids are screaming, I'm having to cook, but I have to go somewhere right now and I'm in a rush. The baby that just went in like, can I have an apple? Ooh, that was chaos. But it's not your son, it's not your daughter, it's not your husband, it's you. So the moment we can take responsibility towards our actions and realize that whatever people are doing to us, it's not personal, we can learn to like detach yourself from the situation. And if it's something negative, then you just remove yourself completely from it. Like, okay, whenever you're having a better day, you can talk to me. Or something like that. But anyway, I think, it's already 36 minutes. But yes, and honestly, having a good support system of people that understand you. If you're a woman, I feel having your tribe, those, like, even if it's your mom friends that don't have the time because you don't have the time either, but getting that little text of like, hey, how are you doing, let's get together. Even if that gets together, it's like 2 weeks later, or a little quick FaceTime, hey, how are you doing, and then the house is a chaos and you're cooking dinner, but then you have a small conversation that lighten up your day. Just knowing that people are going through the same thing that you are, really, really helps. And just know that you can do it, that you're capable, that you're brilliant. So yeah, I would like to end this podcast with that thought, and those affirmations of knowing that maybe fear will never go away, self-doubt will never go away, but knowing that you can overcome it. And just tell yourself, I am capable, I'm courageous, I'm brilliant, I am smart, I am everything I set my mind to, and I'm stepping into this power of doing what I need for myself and for others. So thank you once again for joining me in my podcast. You can listen on the podcast platforms, and this will also be on YouTube and Beyond the Mic with Stacy. And I just want to thank you once again for listening, and if you like it, please subscribe and like, comment, share. That way I can keep you doing this. I can keep having these real conversations with you, to hopefully give you insight, to give you courage, to give you that little push to keep on going and to be better. So thank you once again, and this is Beyond the Mic.